Hello, Wilberforcians and friends. Welcome to episode 5 of Wilberforce Alums Podcast. I am James B. Stafford III, current president of Wilberforce Alumni Association and your host. Wilberforce University Alumni Association supports Wilberforce University, the first private historically black college and university in the nation, founded in 1856. Wilberforce is located right off of Highway 42 in Wilberforce, Ohio, approximately 10 miles east of Xenia, Ohio. Now, if you are new to the channel for the first time, hit subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear. And so that way we will be able to keep you apprised of when our podcast hits the airways. We have a special show today. We will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the class of 1970. This celebration usually takes place at our annual conference, which was to take place in Memphis, Tennessee, approximately a couple of weeks ago, July 23rd through the 26th of this year. However, due to the COVID-19 coronavirus, we had to cancel it for this year. So we had to come about some more creative ways in which we can get this great, fabulous class together. So why don't we go and meet this great class, these graduates from the 1970 class right now.
Hey, Gwen.
Hi, Gwen Brown.
Hi, sweetie.
What did you say?
Sweet. Hey, Sharon.
Hi,
I know. Yeah.
Hey,
George
Chandler.
Yeah, go on.
Who is that?
One that had the
How
link
you
on
doing? It's so good to see you.
Olivia
sent
Stone.
it, Johnny?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I sent it.
You sent it already.
Haven't
Tom.
seen you since Pittsburgh.
Hey.
Hey, David, I can't, hey, Moss, I can't see you.
All right. Well, log on. Everybody wants to see you top pick. All right. Gus, come lately. Gus.
Hey,
How is everybody?
Hey, Gus. Gus.
Right.
Dr. Gus,
How are you?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey.
Right now, since there's so many of you, we all can't talk at the same time. So we got some folk who are going to do some of the talking for you. And it's usually those folk who do all the talking anyway, like Johnny Talbot, for one.
Okay, all right, got that. Okay.
But let me thank Johnny and Gwen and your president, my good brother Roy, for helping pull this together. And that is the class of 1970. As we go through this, and I'm gonna put y'all on gallery view so you can still see each other as we go through this process. And one of the things, the first question I've got in my mind, John, is either you or Lonnie, well, one of you can answer this question. Why is the class of 70 such a marvelous class?
Oh, that's easy. First of all, it's because at the time we came in 1966, I think we were the largest class in quite a while that comes through Wilberforce University. And we had such a large class that, co-op spread us all over the place at different times, but we always seemed to come back together. And so the other reason was that the class of 70 is so great is because we protested everything. We protested the food, we protested the dorms, we protested everything, but we made a lot of changes that are actually still in effect today. So that's what makes us great. And the real thing that makes us great is this class embodies the true meaning of family. Lonnie.
Yeah, I was going to say that we have focused on, as a class, on the classes of 1968 through 1972. That's because 68, 69 folks were there when we got there. They greeted us. And then classes of 71, 72, we made an impact on them as we walked out the door. The other thing I think is important in my vision is that regardless of our focus, that is of 68 through 72, that we take all of the classes of Wilberforce University under our wings. Everybody's family. Whenever we plan to have any kind of events, we welcome not only the classes of 68 through 72, but also any other classes or anyone else who wants to participate. And we've worked so much together, whether we're at conferences or whether we're planning trips, that it's helped to keep that cohesiveness in.
Well, that bond that y'all
Glenn?
talk about, I've noticed in some of the conferences that not only is there that cohesiveness too, but y'all take, support of Wilberforce pretty seriously, but you also, like to have a good time as well. So.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
can
yeah.
I say something? Can I say something? The other hallmark of this class is we don't have little cliques of people. Everybody in this class can move through whoever's gathering. We don't have isolated groups of people who don't associate with others. Everybody.
I can hear somebody
hangs out with
speaking, but I can't
everybody.
see
And I
anything.
think that's made a big difference.
I'd like to go ahead and say something else to that, Lay. Even though we always talk about the folks at Randy House, that is not a clique.
It just
That's
said, let me see.
just an off branch.
There.
Yes.
Go ahead with your
I was
comment.
just saying that to go along with what Lay was saying. We laugh and we joke about Randy House and those who stayed there versus the ones that the classmates who stayed at Ireland Hall. That's all just like in your family. You always talk about one branch versus the other, but it's still one family. So I always tell folks that when you hear us talk about Randy House, we're not talking about a clique. We're just talking about a group. All right, still a branch of the family.
Spoken like a true Randy House visitor.
Hey, watch your mouth.
This is Gwen.
Come on, Gwen.
Just the point I want to make is that, we had a good time on campus, and we're still having a wonderful time celebrating and being with each other. But we took on kind of an ownership when we first graduated. We got involved in our chapters. We got involved in the alumni board. We had persons that served as officer. Yvonne Getty was the secretary. Winton Hill was the chaplain. Crazy Winton Hill was the chaplain. And it was just a good time that was had. Byron became the president. So I think among our members, we did what we felt we needed to do to help the university with service, but also through our tithes and offerings, as we like to say in church.
Amen.
Now, can I say something based on what Gwen is saying? As far as financial support, back about a year ago or so, John and I were talking. We were talking about coming up on our 50th year, and we wanted to do something special. And I told him, I said, one of the things I've been hoping that we would be able to do as a class is to come up with a class of 1970 endowment. We thought, I said, I mentioned this on a few other occasions, but it never went anywhere. So it just so happened that in celebrating our 50th, we thought that was an opportunity to start an endowment. I would like to speak to that, if I could, for just a moment.
No, go right ahead, because I was going to ask you about that. So go ahead, you got the floor.
We were requesting that the graduates of class of 70 would donate $1,970. We knew when we planned this that everyone was not going to be able to do that, and we understood that. But it was still our goal. We also kind of, between John, Gwen, and I, we kind of set a goal of about $50,000. I would like to report that we're almost 2/3 there. All right. So for those who were able to do the 1970, thank you. For those who were not, every dollar counts. And we're asking that it be done during the year of our 50th, but we weren't set in stone on that. So I still invite those who can to contribute to the endowment. And in some cases, people were able to put into the endowment plus give to the general fund. if there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that might come up as far as the endowment. The other thing I think that is key is that we keep in mind that we need to establish what do we want to do with our endowment? How do we want it to be debited out? I'm hoping to be able to get folks to send me an email with their suggestions. I'm asking for 5 people in the class who will be willing to take those suggestions and go through them and come up with recommendations so that once we hit our goal of $50,000, hopefully in the next few months, that we will be able to have something set to put out before the class to see what, as far as the recommendations are concerned. I thank John, I thank Gwen, who's worked with me on this since we came up with this idea and started forward. So if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to entertain any questions.
Let me just let everybody know that right now in our endowment, thanks to many of you have given, we have $30,164.
Oh, that's great. That's a super achievement, John. Well, actually, the class of 1970, and I was going to ask you whether or not you've got it earmarked for anything special at the university, and I see you currently just working on that particular prospect at this point in time. So that's good. Good. That's I heard somebody in the background.
Ronald Braxton. How do you give to the school? How do you give to the endowment that it doesn't get lost in the general fund of the school?
John, do you have the young lady, Natalie Cole, I believe it is?
Yeah. So good question, Ron. So one of the things I made sure was that I earmarked a person that would make sure that every dollar that we send as a class goes specifically and directly into the endowment fund. And that's what has happened. Because some people would write a check to the university and then that's not, that can go anywhere. But when you label it for the class of 70 endowment, she makes sure that it goes right in, and then she sends me regular reports. So Ron, if you need some information, I'll email it to you.
Do that for me, okay?
I will, bro.
Yeah, and in addition to that, if I can piggyback on that, John, is that, I've had conversations as your new president of the National Alumni Association. Gwen and I had talked about how we maintain and track that all the endowments are in their full capacity, and we know exactly how much is there. So that is something that I'm taking on as well, to make certain that the endowments as identified and sent to the university are used for the purpose they were indicated for. And so, that's a good question, because sometimes, that gets misplaced, if you will. So that's something that all of us are concerned about, and especially I'm concerned about it as well.
One other thing I want to add to that is individuals we're asking that you give, but as John and I were talking the other day, I said, John, we need to kind of move not only from the individuals, but let's look at, you might have those who might have pledged with you. You might want to get together and donate to the endowment in the name of your line. You might want to look at, those who occupied the Randy House might want to get together. So my point is that we can work as individuals, but I think this is also an opportunity to work as groups or organizations to give to the endowment. I think it's also one thing I also suggested is that some of us have lost spouses along the way, and that we either do one or two things: start one for your spouse, contribute in the name of your spouse, or what I'm hoping to do is make a contribution to start what I call the memorial piece of that. And so you can add your name or your spouse's name to that grouping if you like. I'm hoping to do that within the next month or so.
Hey, Johnny.
Yo.
Quickie. One of the things that I don't know if people thought about is that the companies that you work for sometimes match your grant. I know mine did.
Yeah, and in a big way, I should say too, Ed. And thank you, man.
Yeah.
And so that could add more dollars to the fund.
Correct.
By your company matching what you put in.
Exactly.
Right.
No, those are good points, and but I would be remiss too if I didn't mention the fact that I know that each class has a particular focus as to what they want to do as a class. But don't also forget that the university still needs money as well, and they need it pretty strongly right about now. And so I know everybody gets pushed and pulled, especially during this COVID-19 period, 5 or 6 different ways to give to the university. But, you know, just keep in mind that that is something that's needed there as well. And especially as it relates to that, at this point in time with this COVID-19, there's going to be a real drastic need for funds in order to implement a process to make sure that everybody stays safe on campus. So,
James, I have a question. What's the plan for September? Virtual, on campus, a combination, or what?
Well, here's what's been communicated. The last word I have received, and that is they're bringing the students back August the 17th. I don't think that's changed at this point. At least I haven't heard anything different from that. John may have, since he's a member of the trustee board. But they're doing there will be some that will be on more or less a hybrid process of some virtual, but those will probably be more of the climb students than those normal students that are actually on campus. And I know, John, if you may have something to add to that.
No, you're right on point on that. You know, my hope is that they observe the fact that, you know, kids coming back to campus are coming from some of the very hot spots that some of the cities have with this virus. And I'm certain that they have a lot of things in place to, as we call protocols, to make sure that students are safe. So, Jim, you're right. Right now, it hasn't changed, and that could change in the next 3, 4, 5 days or weeks.
Yeah, it could change tomorrow relative to how things are going in different parts of the country. So, yeah, the way I put it is just need to stay tuned to what's going on, especially if you have someone that is headed back to campus. So, you know, this. Let me ask one question here that I may open up to everybody. Everybody can't talk on it, so maybe y'all need to decide who. But one of the things I want to mention, because I hear this a lot, well, at least as it relates to my own personal experience. When you came to Wilberforce, how did it affect your life? Did it change your life any?
Yes.
yeah. That was bland and straightforward.
I think the big thing, what happened when we came to Wilberforce, we all cried. Look where we landed.
when you had that experience of being on Wilbur's bus and turning down Brush Road, and you look over at what you later find out in Central State, you're going, oh, this is not bad. And then you make that path, they let students off. And they tell you, no, don't get off yet. And you keep riding, and you ride, and you ride, and they get to Ireland, or get to Emory Hall, and say, this is your stop. And you go, what in heaven's name have I gotten into? But love it.
Hey, the first
we passed the question about what makes it special, and what makes it special, in my opinion, is that we have something that you can't buy, you can't make, you can only live it. And every time we get together, wherever it is, if it's at a conference or if it's just meeting each other in the different cities that we travel from time to time, is the love that we have for one another. That cannot be so. It can only.
May I respond to that? One of the things that we learned when we first hit the ground running at Wilberforce is that our lives would be changed because of the cultivation that we received from our professors and the environment that we were in. We are a close family, simply because of the fact we didn't have anything when we got off the buses. But we were taught how to work hard, be successful, share what you have gained in your life with others. And I believe that it has made each and every one of us a stronger and better person by attending Wilberforce University.
Amen to that. Maybe I'm glad I got that on tape. I may have that cut out and sent to admissions, because they can use that.
Very true. Absolutely.
Well, when I got to Wilberforce University, this is Winton Hill. It was a sense of connection with some of the early pioneers of the African Methodist Church.
We can't see you.
When I'm on the camera, I don't
You
know.
gotta go on the second page.
Go
or
to the
the
second
third
page. Yeah.
Got a page over.
Hi, Joy.
Hey?
And when I got there, it was a sense of connecting with those who came before us. And I was privileged to hear the oral history. Dr. McGinnis at that time had a history book that he published called The History of Wilberforce University. But even more important was the stories that were still being told at that time. And the vision of Dr. Stokes that we were preparing people for global service and not just for a small community. Wilberforce did more to enhance my self-esteem and my potential and my vision for the future than any other one act in my life.
Perfect.
Can a lady
Perfect.
speak?
Oh yeah, you got it. Go on with it.
Also.
Okay. Francis, can I go?
Go.
Okay. So I just want to say that Bishop Donald G. Ming was very instrumental in me coming to Wilberforce University. So my entree into Wilberforce was rooted in the AME Church. And it was a very powerful thing. I'm a first generation college student, one of 15 children, the seventh girl, the 11th child. So there was no college, education was important, but going to college wasn't something in the pocketbooks of my parents. But Bishop Ming really pushed my parents to allowing one of their 15 children to go off to Ohio. And so it has forever changed my life. I think I'm still in the same church that I joined under Bishop Ming. And I feel indebted to that church. I'm really steeped into it. So I'm forever grateful for the beginnings that I had and for getting into college and having a successful life. I feel like it has made me the person I am today, and I'm forever grateful.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to make a comment to that?
I'd like to speak.
Yes.
I'd like to
Anita.
speak on that.
I'd like to speak. This is Anita.
Hello, was the class secretary
Come on.
all 4 years.
That's right.
All right.
And although I don't get included in many of the plans, getting to Wilberforce was an outstanding choice in my life because I had a scholarship to the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. But my dad did not approve. And when he found out that Wilberforce was a church school, he was excited about that. And one of the things that was very important was to maintain my religious background and beliefs. Although I grew up Baptist with Reverend C.L. Franklin, Aretha's father, going to a church school was so vital. And I learned about the AME church and ended up coming back to Detroit and joining an AME church. But just like to piggyback on what Winton said, learning the history of the Black folks and the African Americans that had been there before us was so vitally important and critical that we continue the legacy, the things that they had started, so that we would carry on and not goof off and learn and do and become better persons as a result of attending a church school, Wilberforce University.
I would like to speak.
Go ahead.
This is Anita. And I think my first impression too was, I got there through Mr. Edward King, and he was our admissions person, but he was from Gary, Indiana.
Right.
And he recruited me. And when I got there, one of the first persons that I saw was Althea Brown, the registrar. She drove a real long Cadillac.
Yeah.
And all I could see was that Cadillac. And I thought, this is what I want to be when I really graduate from this place as a registrar. And that's what I became.
Amen.
I became a university registrar at Central State. And it was because of Althea Brown that I did that. I wanted that pink Cadillac. That pink Cadillac is exactly what I got. I got that great big long pink Cadillac. And so it meant so much to me to have that experience and to have something to look forward to. I mean, it was like a life was beyond the horizon that I couldn't see, but I knew I wanted. And so I knew that my motto was, life is but a dream. No life, no dream, no life.
Amen.
So that's what it was for me.
Well, I would add,
This is Sharon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to say, well, Joyce said it all. We have been traveling this road since day one. My BFF forever in life. Through Bishop Ming, the whole 9 yards. Somebody that just picked us up out of the ghetto, as Chester was called. Not a dime my parents had, but they told us, get on the bus, don't worry about it. God will take care of it. And God took us through those 4 years, and blessed is all I could say. Grateful for the opportunity. And where it took me, I said to myself, as long as I have breath on this earth, I will help wherever help is needed.
Great. Super.
Amen.
Great.
Wonderful.
Well, I heard from Sandy. Yes,
Okay.
Sandy, go ahead. The wife of one of our past presidents of the Alumni Association, Sandy Jordan, and my classmate, as a matter of fact.
Okay, I was getting ready to say, yeah, as a class of 73, which I got to campus when you guys were seniors, of course, and that's where I met Byron. But one of the things that has always been at the top of my mind in terms of Wilberforce is the co-op program. At that time, as we all know, the co-op program was such a critical and vital part of higher education, something unique, and certainly we were the only HBCU that had anything like that, and of such tremendous value for our students, certainly for me, in terms of being able to do that. And someone mentioned being a global citizen, right? Having the opportunity to engage outside of the studies on class, but to engage the world and to engage the various communities. So I think the co-op program for me, because that's what my mother said. See, I had gotten accepted to Howard. I wanted to go to Howard. She said, no, you're going to Wilberforce, because it was the only program of its kind at the time.
Right. You're right. You're right. Well, look, I've got a break for a minute for a commercial break here, so just hold on and let me do this this commercial break. Well, my Wilberforce friends, we are here visiting with on the 50th anniversary for the class of 1970. What a great day. What a great period it is to be able to celebrate 50 years from the time you walked across the campus of Wilberforce University. And so, in keeping with the context of Wilberforce Alums Podcast, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button at the end and give us a thumbs up. And that way you'll stay on our communication list for every time a podcast hits the scene. Now, let's get back to visiting with the class of 1970.
I'd like to piggyback off
James, I like something.
Sandy Jordan. This is Deborah. Sandy, I wanted to go to Fisk, but my mother said, no, you're going to Wilberforce.
Exactly right. That's right.
Okay. So we took a ride down to Wilberforce, and I was like, oh, dear Jesus, this is not where I want to live, on the country roads and the cornfields as I rode down 42. But once I got there and I grew up, when I had to do the co-op put me in DC the first time. I grew up real fast. Didn't we, Joyce? And, I have friends for life from Wilberforce. So I can only thank my mother, and I was born and raised AME, Quinn Chapel, from Flint, Michigan. And I thank God for where I attended and all the new friends that I met at Wilberforce. And still have.
I want to ask a question. Is the company that made our yearbook, does it still exist? I'm not in the yearbook. A bunch of us didn't end up in the yearbook because the stub burned down. Does anybody know if that company is still, Patricia Custon? I know y'all asses ain't laughing.
Hey, Violet.
What you gonna do, sue him?
Hey, Violet. I thought you were gonna ask who burned the stub down.
I'm scared to ask that question. Because wait a minute, because some of the people that are on this call have been known for devious behavior.
In answer to Lay's question, the company is no longer in operation.
Right. That's how old we are.
Hey, but that's a blessing, folks. That's a blessing. That's a
really
true blessing. Not everybody
there's
can
some who not with us.
That's right.
James.
That's right.
James. Charles McKenzie wants you guys to know he's working on reparations. That's why he's not on the phone.
Who?
Charles McKenzie. Charles McKenzie.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, James.
Yeah, go ahead.
James, this is Arthur Hunt. I transferred into Wilberforce in '67 from Charleston, South Carolina, and we came up 64 strong in two buses.
I remember that.
But one thing I can piggyback with everyone talking about co-op, it taught me survival.
Yes, it did.
You know, and I learned how to survive on co-op. And also later in life, it helped me to survive. It also introduced me to my wife of almost 50 years.
All right.
Yay.
All right.
Oh, that's so nice.
And I think they had chickens on their bus too.
Can I say something?
There's Tom Page.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree very much with what everybody else has said. It's the challenges I faced at Wilberforce have made me resilient. But an observation, especially after these last few months, things are never going to be the same. I mean, what people that are going into college, they're not going to experience the same things that we experience. Everything is my phone. Everything is virtual. Everything is online. Everything. There's nothing going to be the same. Okay. All right. Like the University of Arizona. You could get a degree from the University of Arizona and never go to Arizona. That's the way things. Oh, hold on a minute. I'll be back.
Okay.
Well, guys, I know everybody's having a good time seeing everybody, but we're running out of time and we're running out of bandwidth too, I think.
We need to toast.
Well. Do you want to do that now, or you want to kind of introduce all those who are on call?
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yeah. But yes. Now y'all got to promise you got to keep it short. You got to keep it short because we don't have much time left, and we got some things we want to get in. So I'm gonna read the names off. If I missed your name at the end, just tell me if I missed you. But I got all the names of the folk who registered, and we got 47 people on the line in this chat room right now. So what I want you to do is you're not on gallery view, you're in speaker view. So when you come on here, we're going to get a good profile of your face. Say your name and the home, city and state you were from when you had Wilberforce, and then we'll go on to the next name quickly. Okay, I'm starting with Moselle Anderson. Moselle Anderson. Okay, because he's not here. Kenneth Batch.
Skip. Nope.
Clara Bivens.
Claire Bivens. I remember that name.
Clara Bivens. No. Donna Blackburn.
Donna West Blackburn, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay, sister from Tennessee. All right. Margaret Blake.
Claire is here.
Marguerite Blake.
Marguerite Blake. Okay.
Marguerite.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Marguerite Blake, Chester, Pennsylvania.
Okay. David Booker.
Clara Bivens is here. I was on mute.
All right, Claire, come on. Tell you where you're home.
Clara Lewis, maiden name from Buffalo, New York.
All right.
All right. David Booker. I know he's here. I saw his name.
He's here.
David Booker.
David probably went to sleep.
Okay. All right. We'll come back. Okay. Carol Boswell.
Carol Boswell, Bristol, Pennsylvania.
Dorothy Bracy Austin. I know she's here. She was here. I saw her.
She's on mute.
They're not on
Dot.
mute.
Dot.
Hi, sorry about that. Dot Bracy Austin, Gary, Indiana at the time.
All right. All right. Ronald Braxton.
Ronald Braxton, Norfolk, Virginia.
That's my boy.
Gwendolyn Brown.
Q Brown.
Gwendolyn Q. Brown.
So you don't have Q. You don't have Q on this list, Gwen.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Jerome Brown.
Biff.
Come off mute, Biff.
Jerome Brown.
He's trying to unmute himself.
St. Croix.
No.
Where is it?
You from Jersey.
All right, we'll come back. Clayton Burrows.
Clayton Martin Burrows, Shaker Heights, Ohio.
Amen. Good brother. James Bird. James Bird.
They were on.
They're not unmuted.
Beverly Bird.
They are not unmuted.
Okay.
Got to unmute.
Jimmy Bird, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Good.
Great. What about Beverly Bird? Did we hear from her?
Oh, Beverly, I'm here.
Okay.
Beverly Bird, Brooklyn, New York.
Perfect. Dolores Chandler.
Dolores Frazier Chandler, Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Wow.
Good.
Hey,
Good.
mate. Hey.
Violet Coleman Edwards.
Please take Edwards off of my name.
Hey, Johnny, you heard that, didn't you, Johnny? This is provided to me by John Talbert. Okay, Johnny heard that, right?
Well, okay. I'll slap Johnny when I see his bald-headed ass.
You right like it.
Violet Lake Franklin Coleman, Memphis, Tennessee.
Amen, Memphis, Tennessee. All right.
Look good. I ain't seen her in
All
years.
right, Sharon Floyd.
Sharon was on.
Sharon Wilson Floyd, Saginaw, Michigan.
Okay, all right. You didn't come on right quick. Okay. Crystal Ford.
Hey, Chris.
Crystal.
Where's Chris?
Crystal.
Where is she?
Drinking wine.
Does she have?
Getting a refill.
Is she on?
That's David.
On.
David Booker, we coming back to you, man.
Come on back.
All right, David Booker.
David Booker, Washington, D.C.
Crystal Ford, did we find her?
Yeah.
Where is she?
She's muted.
Okay. All right.
She's muted.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
All right. All right. Gwendolyn Frost.
So, okay, I'm here, everybody. I'm unmuted now.
Okay,
Crystal.
go ahead. Gwendolyn Frost. Go ahead. Oh, Crystal. Okay.
Crystal's from Philly.
Philly.
Yeah.
Okay. Gwendolyn Frost. Did she come on?
No.
Okay. Augustus Hill.
Gus.
Justice O'Hill, North Little Rock, Arkansas.
North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
He's a neighbor of mine. All right. Lynette Hill.
My roommate. Not on.
She's what?
She's not on.
Okay. All right. Winton Hill.
Newark, New Jersey.
Okay, Winton. Where are you, Winton?
I'm right here.
I don't see you.
You're invisible, man.
All right. Arthur Hunt.
Arthur Hunt,
New
Charleston, South
Jersey.
Carolina.
Say it again, Arthur, because you got blocked out there. Say it
Charleston,
again.
South Carolina.
All right. Doris Hunt.
Doris Vincent Hunt, Buffalo, New York.
All right. Patricia Kelly.
Patricia Kelly, Corsi Kelly from Woodbury, New Jersey.
Amen. Anita Marbury.
Anita Jenkins, Gary, Indiana.
Yay.
Okay. Eugene Mays. Eugene Mays. I know he's here. He's been talking. Eugene Mays, unmute. Eugene? Okay, what happened here?
It's time for a break, guys.
There he is.
They know better than to leave us by ourselves.
For real. It will never be the same.
Is he there?
I don't even see him. I don't see him. Where did he go?
He's there. He's on mute. He has to unmute himself.
Yeah.
He's muted. He's muted. He's not frozen.
Jimmy, you muted.
Olivia.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, he's muted.
my turn?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
You need to unmute yourself. Say your name and go, and let's go on with it.
Yeah. This
Good
is
idea.
Patchett Stoner from Philadelphia, PA.
Yay.
Yay, Phyllis.
All of us from
Will.
Lay
you on mute.
Thank you, everybody.
Stephanie, man. How you
Unmute,
Lay.
Lay must either be on mute or gone.
She's on mute.
She's
still
on
mute.
baby.
Come on,
Bye.
We need to keep our own Dolores Chandler.
This thing together. Maybe once a month we all just meet up sometime again, just to say hello again.
Yeah.
Yes.
50 years later, but just to say hello.
Yeah.
Do that.
That sounds good.
Sounds good to me. Just to come
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing
Johnny,
good,
you
man.
gonna have to put it up.
Johnny,
Hey,
can we
Tom.
do this like every
Tom, I
other
ain't talked
month?
to you in a while, man. Tom Page.
Yeah.
Oh, man, how you
Hi,
doing?
Byron. How
I'm
you
good,
doing?
man.
Man, you look like you
Well,
look
how
like
are
you
you,
got ready
Moselle?
Right from Houston with that beard, boy. we was talking about you this morning.
Gwen Kim, you've done an awesome job getting us
Good to see you,
together.
man.
Oh, thank you,
man.
sweetie.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nice to see
You look
everybody.
beautiful,
Absolutely.
Moselle.
Moselle,
You're the
you're
mother of the
beautiful.
class. You're the mother of the class, and we just got to give you
Yeah,
that.
she the mother.
I
of the
second
class.
Stop that.
Be nice,
Lonnie.
With everybody.
Yes.
Can we
Moselle,
do this like every couple of
John, how
months?
do you get the
Moselle,
picture?
it's
But
so
yeah.
good that everybody's safe. Everybody made it through this horrible time. Everybody's safe. Everyone's doing well. God bless you. I hope to see you soon.
Yes.
You know what they say, you know what they say in the bars, don't you? They say, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
Young men, young lady, it's time for your get to my callers to go home, young lady.
What did,
Young
what did I
lady.
just
Time for your callers to go home.
What did I just
Oh,
say?
yeah.
Man has
Yeah,
ended the
making cookies.
podcast, and y'all still on here.
Guys, hear me?
Yeah, I
Johnny
hear you.
Silver.
Yes.
John, was that the benediction?
I just want you to know that we're still honest, Johnny.
We still what?
We
honest.
we honest.
I know you are. That's why I respect you. You know, that's why I respect you. I wouldn't have another.
John, hey, John. I hate to cut this off, but I've already lost some of our event. My computer crashed, so I'm gonna lose more of it. I'm shut it down now, buddy. I enjoyed it.
I told him to go home.
It's been great.
Hey, Jimmy, we want to thank you, man. We want to thank you very much for doing this, man.
Hey, man, I enjoyed
so much, man.
I enjoyed it, man. It's great. It's great.
It's great.
Those of us who don't have Facebook, I'm not
everybody. Great seeing everybody.
All right.
Yes, it was.
Nice seeing you guys.
It was nice
And
seeing
we look
everybody.
good.
You look good.
Great.
I love y'all.
Good to
Y'all
all
look
of us.
I love all of you.
So, Crystal, you need to get Facebook so you can keep up.
No, I don't want to keep up. I want to keep out. I want to keep.
Hey, I just want to say thank you to everybody. You know why.
I know.
Yes,
I know.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
love you,
Love you guys.
We love you. We love you.
Mwah.
Stay strong, sweetheart. Stay strong. You got an angel, man.
Thank you.
Together.
Thank you.
Thank you all for putting this together. It's been a joy. It really has.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us. Good night. Love you.
Love you.
Renee.
And you know what?
It's Denise.
Even the pandemic
Yeah,
couldn't
this has
stop
been good.
us
We'll
family
get
from getting
next
together.
year. Yeah, we'll get together.
Okay,
next year.
sounds
It's really
good.
been good.
Yo.
So I'll meet everybody.
All right, God bless y'all. Hey, Wilberforce University's class of 1970. Check out the slideshow I have attached before you go. Well, there you have it. The class of 1970. Boy, we had a wonderful time chatting and visiting with these young folk who graduated in 1970. Looking really good today. Look, there's a part that you missed when our system got overwhelmed. The toast that was given to the class of 1970 by its president, Lonnie Rory. And so I just wanted to add that because we culminated or finished this session off, this episode off with a toast to the great class of 1970. Now we're signing off, but don't forget, hit subscribe or give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you at the next podcast, which will be episode 6. See you later.